Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. This is Dr. D Oracle, your favorite psychic medium and metaphysician. And today I am going to be coming through with a reading on Chris Rock. Hold on, let me get these cards in order. Let's get these cards in order so we can see what Spirit has to say through the cards about his reaction. Why he reacted the way that he reacted. And, what are his plans moving forward for the future? What does he intend to do? Are we going to see any lawsuits? Are we going to see any type of retaliation? Or will he be compassionate enough to forgive Mr. Smith and move on without any repercussions? See, I keep seeing this card. Here it is. It's backwards in here, but we're going to get it turned around. It's a few. It's a couple of them like that still. It's a couple. So let's just see what Spirit is going to tell us about this particular situation and what we can expect to see in the future from the slap of all slaps at the Oscars, okay? Now, my personal opinion on how this actually panned out, like the behavior, the mindset of Will Smith. We'll take a look into that too, and then we'll also take a look into Jada's expectations, because I know a lot of people have kind of sort of like this thing about Jada's expectations influencing him, and her being some type of woman, Jezebelic type of woman who is like, really making him prove his loyalty. Okay. I'm just going to get down to it. Okay, Spirit, we thank you. Okay, the number's 10. Spirit's saying the number's 10. So we're going to look at the number 10 and the 10th card. Let's cut the cards real quick. See what Spirit, let us know what Chris Rock is thinking. What type of approach is he going to take with this situation now and in the future? 6, 7, 8, 9. And what is going on? Let's start on this side. What's going on with Chris Rock? Oh, he's got some pretty good cards coming up. So we're asking Spirit, what's going on? What's going on with Chris Rock? How is he going to be handling this situation? Okay. So let's look at what Spirit is saying. And right here in the place of the present, we have the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups. This is a card about feeling emotional, but in the position that it's in, upright, this card is pretty much saying, well, at the end of the day, this whole entire situation has started a new beginning for him. Yes, he feels emotional about it. Yes, some things doesn't feel right to him. Okay, so he's in his emotion about this. But at the same time, he sees how it opened some doors for him. Okay, how it brought up some new opportunities, new beginnings. Okay, and then I think he also, like, this card stands for having a new type of emotional perspective about somebody or someone. So in his mind, it's like, yeah, I'm clear on this. I'm not going to be interacting with this person unless it's going to be for a good opportunity. Okay, good business opportunity. Okay, so that Ace of Cups is coming out, and that's in the present. I mean, in the particular situation, what's happening right now. So yeah, it's like I'm emotionally disappointed, But at the same time, I see how this has actually benefited me. And it can benefit me. Okay. The Fool card. So this card is the problem here. I feel like this card is saying, yeah, I don't want to react to anything foolishly. I don't want to make a quick decision. I don't want this to hurt me, or hurt my career. So I'm kind of taking a back seat right now. That's what this card is saying. I'm not ready to move. I'm not ready to approach the situation. Okay. So I feel like as this stands for the problem, this means like I'm proceeding with action. I'm not just going to dive in. All right. Now, here's the thing, because when I saw this card come out, this Wheel of Fortune card, this card made me think like a lot of what has happened is going to be very profitable. This card is in the place of the past. So this card is just showing like this person's destiny is, it really, like, the universe plays into this person's favor. So anything that pretty much happens, even if it's for bad, like the universe is working in this person's favor. And so with the Wheel of Fortune card coming up in the place of the past, this card is saying like, I really don't need to gain anything from this. Okay, I really don't need to gain anything from this. Everything is already in Chris Rock's favor. The universe has already blessed him in so many ways. And, this is a card of good luck. This is a card of having a positive destiny. And like the universe is working to like propel you into your destiny and get you where you should be at. Okay, for this incarnation. And that's the major energy in this spread. So I definitely feel like, this is kind of saying, if he does anything at this particular moment, it would definitely be because there are other people who are influencing him. Because at this point, he doesn't have anything to gain with it. That's what these three cards show me. Okay? The Ace of Cups, the Fool inverted, and the Wheel of Fortune card. All three of those cards let me know at this particular time he really doesn't see any way that he can gain from it, because he's already prosperous. Okay, he's already abundant. He's already on his life purpose. He's already fulfilled. Okay, so now here's a card that we're going to have to pay attention to, because this is a future card. This is a hospital card. I call it the hospital card anyways, because this card right here is the card about taking rest, okay, and taking out some time to yourself. Like, you definitely don't want to be bothered with a whole bunch of stuff, like drama and stuff, like taking rest. So, because this card is in the place of the future, I definitely feel Spirit saying here, taking time out to think about it, not being very aggressive, okay, concerning that situation, okay, really looking at the fact that it could be like overwhelming. There's so many problems, you don't want it, so I definitely feel like this is what Chris Rock is saying here again, like, this is too much. I don't want these extra problems. I don't want this to cause drama in my life. And this card to me is saying that I want to move forward and put things to rest. Okay, I want to put things to rest. Now, with the Devil card coming up, and this is in the place of the consciousness, okay? This card really shows me like a release from attachments, okay? So I definitely feel like there was something a little closer between, Will Smith or the Smiths and Chris Rock. And this card is saying, he's saying to himself, Why in the fuck did I even consider myself being cool with them? This is an unhealthy attachment. I should have stayed far, far away from them. I knew they were nothing but problems. So I feel like this card says that he already had an idea of this in his mind from the past. And I definitely feel like this card confirms one of my insights I had gotten about them actually having a relationship and being cool and having talked about the joking about Jada. Okay. So he had talked about that with Will and Jada before. That's what this card shows me. And he thought that they were cool. But he realized they weren't. And so now he's really thinking about the fact that, you know, he held on to an unhealthy attachment, or he had faith in an unhealthy attachment. That's what the devil card coming up is showing me right after this card, okay? So it's like, I'm just going to take rest and get the F away from a motherfucker and quit messing with them, okay? I'm going to quit talking to them. So that's what he's thinking right now. Like, I can't do this no more. Like, I thought they were my friends, and now they're not, okay? So he kind of feels a little, you know, deceived when it comes down to that. So with that being said, I really feel like that devil card is giving us some really strong information or indication that he thought that they were cool. Okay? He thought that, you know, it was okay, you know, that he wouldn't get any backlash, and he actually felt that they had some sort of connection outside of being professional. Okay? So what I'm telling you is that they've already had talked about this. They had talked about the jokes and whatnot. Okay? So that's something that we don't know about, because we don't know the Smiths. But Spirit is telling us right here, there was a connection here. It wasn't too good of a connection, and he kind of feels like that connection was a mistake. Like, he should never have made that connection, okay? And he should have never had confidence in that connection. That connection basically disappointed him, okay? And so now, with that being said, that's kind of on the side of, you know, just being like a little codependent, looking for validation. And I really think he feels, you know, like he really made a mistake there, okay? So I think that's one of the major impacts of this whole situation. Just feeling like you were cool with somebody, like y'all could talk, like y'all could come to each other with differences, and then finding out, you know, that this person really has some type of contempt and used you as kind of sort of like a weaker link, okay? So that's what I'm feeling about this devil card right here for Chris Rock. So far, I see him pretty much taking like the high route, just kind of walking away and standing on his principles of the fact that he's, you know, he's already successful. So in his life right now, it may not be in his best interest to retaliate, okay, in any kind of way. That's why the Fool card came up in the place of the problem, because he's wondering right now, is that going to be in his best interest? Should he, you know, step off the ledge and kind of go for something right now? But Spirit's saying no, in the future, he just wants to take rest from that relationship. He doesn't want to have, you know, those connections anymore. So now we're going to do like the root issue. Okay, the root issue card is here. This is in the position of the root issue. This 7 of coins right here, and it's coming up inverted. Okay. This card is like a confirmation, because it shows as a root issue that one person put more faith in the relationship than another person. So it's kind of like imbalance, and this is when it comes to valuing someone, okay? So one person valued another person a little bit more, okay, in this relationship, okay? They put a little bit more effort into it, okay? But this card shows that just frustration, okay? Setbacks and a lack of growth. So again, I feel like this is confirming my psychic insight, because I had gotten that he called Chris on the phone, and that him and Chris had a talk about it, and they had squashed everything. So he thought, okay? But his friend Will, his ex-friend now, didn't really put that much value on the relationship. Didn't really put that much value on the friendship. So Spirit is saying here, like, this is a root issue, okay? This is really a root issue. And at the end of the day, you know, this is another one of the reasons he feels like, damn, I wasted my time, you know, trying to be cool with this person or whatever. Okay, so that Seven of Pentacles right there, that Seven of Pentacles, it's right here. This card is going to be one of the root issues that we have to pay attention to. It kind of imbalances the relationship, and I'm sorry, it shows that only one person was invested, basically, in the relationship, okay? So, yeah, being one-sided or whatever, it's really something that in a friendship or any type of relationship, it makes you feel like you got used, okay? Or somebody thought you were stupid, okay? So I feel that vibe coming from him, okay? And then this Queen of Wands comes up. This is also, because there's 3 root issues in my spread, so this is also another root issue here. I know what you guys are thinking right now, like, this is Jada. So the Queen of Wands is she's very pessimistic, okay? And so she looks at things always in the negative, okay? Unfortunately, I'm starting to feel like this is Jada too, because I definitely wanted to believe the best about her, but I love when Spirit comes through, and sometimes the insights that are compared to my thoughts are different, okay? But Spirit is saying here with this card, like she always thinks in the negative. But this card also represents like being extremely chaotic, being disorganized, okay? And it does represent a mature female or feminine person who may be demanding, overbearing, pushy, and self-righteous, or a busybody, okay? And then Mrs. Spirit saying like this is a root issue, okay? So I have to say, you know, Chris had a relationship, but I don't think he knew it. His relationship was between him, Jada, and Will. But he didn't know Jada was really in it like that. He just thought like, yeah, you know, I said a couple of things that offended her. But, you know, he didn't know like she had it in for his ass, okay? But this card does indicate an older female who is pushy, or they're a bully, okay? And they're very self-righteous, okay? Also, it says that the person is unfaithful as well as being a troublemaker. Oh my God. This also says like she has low confidence, low self-esteem kind of. And she doesn't believe in herself. Okay. So these are some root issues that are going on in the relationship. And I definitely feel like that was a trigger, okay, for the reaction that we saw, the slap, okay? So, yeah, unfortunately, the Queen of Wands is coming up inverted. So that's letting us know, we got a bitch behind, everything, So I definitely feel like they were working or talking through some things, and Will sort of got the impression that this is really going to be something that I have to answer to when I get home. I'm going to have to explain why it is I didn't do anything, and so I did something. That something that I did wasn't the best for everyone, especially me and Chris. But at the end of the day, there's some honor that I have to defend with my wife. Okay. So, yeah, that card is definitely saying as a root issue here that there was some female influence. And it was coming from a more disorganized, pessimistic, negative, okay, type of stance, okay? So everyone said it was Jada. It was her. It was her. All right? Spirit said it was her. So, I can't refute that. I can't refute that, even though I sometimes want to stand up. And I'm still going to speak my opinion where that's concerned. But I think Spirit has clarified through the cards at this current moment that she was actually the reason behind the reaction. Okay? So, the next card that we have coming up as a root issue is we've got the Star card inverted. So, in Chris's reading, there's a few cards inverted, but the Star card is inverted. Okay, this for me is a card of like spiritual interaction, and it shows kind of sort of getting rid of baggage, okay? Like, that's what this card reminds me of, getting rid of baggage or release. And this shows that something that happened in the past kind of took away from the relationship. So, I think they were even cooler in the past, okay? But something that happened made Chris question his loyalty, their loyalty to him, okay? This card shows that you have to get rid of baggage, okay? So I feel like this card is going to lead Chris to seek therapy, okay? To seek some type of counseling to help him heal from the wound that he has. Okay, he needs to be able to leave that stuff in the past so he doesn't carry it with him and keep thinking about it and thinking about it, which is going to be really hard because it's always going to be on the internet now. It's always going to be on a video, okay? But this card says pretty much that, you just feel anxious and overwhelmed. And it's like you got to get rid of some of that baggage. You got to release something, okay? You got to release and let go. That's why this card is inverted. If it was the other way, it would mean, you're accumulating, and spirit is on your side. But this card says he needs to resolve this through counseling. And he's going to be going to counseling because as a root issue, it's too much for him to carry it with him. This card is saying, I need to be able to leave this in the past. And this card is a card of being victimized. Okay? But this card says, feeling a need to move forward. So I think he even felt this before, and that's kind of sort of why he had made the comment that the joke wasn't going to be too bad. So that's kind of messed up that they're talking to him about his comedy routine and his jokes, as a personal friend, and he has to take that into account to kind of hold on to this friendship. Okay, that's what this card is saying. And this card is just, saying, like, he was doing that to heal the past. Okay? So even though I see this as a card for healing for him, this card also says as a root issue, I was trying to heal the past by taking that into account while I was doing my jokes or my routine. But they didn't understand that. Okay? But this card definitely shows there was a past issue of needing to release and to let go, and he didn't do it again. So, yeah, he's going to have to really work harder at it this time, but that's one of the things that he's saying, yeah, I regretted that, okay, in this reading, okay? Now, this next card coming up, this is really interesting. The Lover's card comes up inverted for them, okay? Now, I don't want y'all to go gay on me and thinking like this means some gay stuff, okay? But this card is in the place of hopes and fears, okay? And when it's inverted like this, it's a symbol. It's a symbol of not being aligned, okay? Not being connected, okay? The connection severed, okay? A separation. Now, a lot of people who's analyzing this there's a lot of things being said. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors. People say, and they do all type of sexual things. But I definitely don't feel like this card is about anything sexual. It's more about disharmony. It's more about distrust. It's more about imbalance, conflict, okay? And disconnection, as I said earlier. But this card is also about a lack of accountability. And this card says that someone is going to be struggling to be accountable, to take responsibility for decisions that they've made. And this also says inner conflict, okay? And that it's a result of choices that someone has made. And this is in the hopes and fears card. So I really feel like this is Chris Rock feeling like I made some bad decisions, and I can't blame anyone but myself. Okay, that's what this card is saying. This card is also saying, he wants to develop just a deeper understanding of, his connections he has with people and friendships and, how they cause the problems in his life. This is in the place of hopes and fears too. And as you see, it's a couple. So this is like, damn, I shouldn't have fucked with them. Like that was a toxic, they're a toxic partnership. Okay. So I think that has a double meaning there, being friends, being friends with the lovers. Okay. Is toxic. Having to break that connection. having to turn away. That's not really something that he wanted to do, but he wish he had. Actually, I feel like he wish he, he just wishes he had done it a whole lot sooner. Okay? And not waited so long. So here's the next card is going to be the outcome. Here's the outcome. The Page of Cups. And it's inverted, okay? And we know pages are always about communication. So this kind of confirms everything I was saying, which is really just Chris kind of taking a back seat to that situation, like not really doing anything about it, but cutting off communication. Okay. Not really trying to discuss it with anyone. Okay. And we talked about him putting things behind him with the Four of Swords and the Devil card. Him kind of regretting, trying to hold on to that connection. This is just a card of canceled, social events. So I really think Spirit is saying here, this relationship is over, and that's all he's going to do is sever the relationship. Okay. This card does indicate someone is just, they feel like the person was vindictive towards them. Okay. This card also says, like, I don't know, just you don't want to cause drama or be a drama king, okay? So you don't want to make a big deal about things, okay? That's what I feel with this card right now. Just not wanting to make a big deal about things. So I know, certain people have been like, okay, is he going to sue? Different things like that. But I really feel like he just wants to put this thing behind him, and he has enough success to carry himself through. He has enough fame so that, he doesn't need to do anything like sue anyone or try to gain any type of financial rewards from it. Remember, the Fortune card came out for him. So that was in the place of the past, and just kind of saying, good luck kind of follows him. Good luck is behind him, okay? So he also needs to put this situation behind him. And unfortunately, him being friends with the Smiths did not mean anything to them. They didn't value the friendship. Then we had some cards about Jada coming through, right? So, yeah. Let's look at the situation. Let's ask Spirit right now. Spirit, can you let us know some information about what's happening with the Smiths right now? What's going on with Jada? How does she respond to Will now that this has happened? And we also want to know, in the past, did she make Will feel like there was a need to protect her, or was that something that he resorted to on his own? Okay, I got a new deck of cards too, but they're really, really hard. See this deck here? I like them too. They're really shiny, but they're kind of hard to shuffle. And I had surgery on one of my hands, so I have to shuffle the cards a certain way. Okay. Or it just really hurts. So let's see what Spirit is saying. We asked about Jada first. And we asked, was she making Will feel like she needed more protection and he wasn't doing his job? Or was that something he himself just kind of concluded from the situation? Let's see what Spirit says about that. Let's see her role in this. How she influenced it. Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, the Emperor card. That's a dad card coming up. Two of Coins. About being imbalanced. And Eight of Cups here. Then we also have the Two of Staffs. So, what I can tell you is there is a situation, which we knew it was going to be a situation because everybody brings up the entanglement situation, the August Alstina situation. And what I'm getting right now is Wheel of Fortune card coming up again, which is showing me one of the things that they're trying to do is make a new start in their relationship. Okay, they want to be able to make a new start. So they had talked about this, and this is something that they're working on. Okay, now the Emperor card inverted. You know, this card is always the father card. Okay, and so with this card, I definitely feel like she questioned his ability to parent, and that the protection thing goes hand in hand with that. There's something about parenting going on here, and I definitely feel like there's an issue about father issues. Okay, so with them starting a new beginning and this card coming up, I definitely don't feel like Spirit is saying it was all her. Okay, she influenced it. Okay, and she was being very pessimistic, which means that, you know, she always looks at things from a negative perspective and a negative, just from a negative like point of view. Okay, and so with that being said, these father issues, I definitely feel like the protection thing is coming up with the kids. Okay, but that triggered it. That moment in itself triggered it. Okay, but Spirit is saying yes. You know, this has to do with father issues. So we can look at that as his own father issues, but I tend to think more because there's a certain pessimism, okay, that's being used against him, and it's not just aimed at him per se, but, you know, people can project their stuff on you. Okay, so I feel like Spirit is saying they're starting a new beginning, but there's some stuff that he's dealing with that concerns either him being a father or his own father, that is causing him to be triggered right now. Okay, I feel it's more connected to his own children, the children that him and Jada have together, and I definitely feel like there's an issue as far as, you know, certain things that he did during the relationship that didn't pan out as protecting his family. Okay, and so he felt the need to do something at that particular time when he was triggered to prove, okay, that I can protect my family. I can do this. And watch, I'm going to show the world. Okay, now here's the major energy. This is the Two of Coins inverted. Okay, and this card right here, it gives me the feeling of juggling. Okay, juggling to people are trying to juggle a something financially. Okay, when you're trying to find balance, it can be very difficult because you might overcompensate in some areas. Okay, but this card shows that you definitely lack balance. Okay, it also shows biting off more than you can chew, and so I really think this kind of symbolizes making poor choices because you're under pressure. Okay, that's what this card shows, and you get yourself into more of a mess than you need to. Okay, so this is kind of Spirit saying, yeah, that person was under some pressure, And so that's why they made a decision, okay? He would have done a better job by, putting the plan together and say, okay, when I feel under pressure that I need to do this, I can do step A, step B, or step C. Okay? Now, the Eight of Cups. This is about seeing reality after the decision. You kind of realize that you made a bad mistake or a bad choice. Like, all the illusions now are no longer in your face. Okay? So this kind of says I had unrealistic expectations, and so that's the reason why I acted out. Okay? So yeah, this card definitely shows that he was triggered. There was some type of imbalance going on. And Jada did play a part in it with her pessimism. Okay? But they are trying to make a new start, so that was like some type of act of good faith on his behalf. Okay? Now, with the Two of Staffs coming up, this card does show like feeling like you're in between like a rock and a hard place. Okay? So I definitely felt like without even pulling any cards, that's how he felt. Like he felt like he had to make a decision because he was between a rock and a hard place. Okay? I do feel like he felt himself that he would hear about this when he got home, because he knows how pessimistic Jada is. Okay? So this card kind of shows like now that you've acted on that or whatever, you're pretty much, withdrawn. Okay? But this card, I feel, is showing like he feels like he did it for a good reason. Because remember, Spirit said they were starting over. Okay? So this like is saying I can move forward with planning. Okay? So I think he feels like, he made the best decision so that he can really go home and kind of live with himself, because right now he's gonna get some sympathy from his wife, and she's gonna look at that as an act of honor, and loyalty. Okay? So moving forward, this card is saying, I had a decision to make, and I feel like, I made the best decision for myself at that time. That doesn't mean that he doesn't regret it and he doesn't wish he couldn't have handled it differently, but he saved face, because you remember, him and Jada are starting over. Okay? They're starting over. They said they wanted to start over. So he kind of created like a new chapter in the book. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah. I think Spirit pretty much answered our questions with these two spreads. And I'm going to stop here to say, let us think about, the energy, the psychic energy that we're seeing. We're seeing a specific psychic energy with both Jada and Will. And I think it was kind of sort of like something that brought them closer together, even though the world kind of sees it as like, wait a minute, that was the wrong way to handle things. But personally speaking, when he goes home, he can sleep at night. So Chris is not going to sue him. Chris is tired of his ass and Jada's ass. He don't want to talk to them ever again. And that's going to be about the brunt or the cost of this. For Will, it's going to be a little bit differently. But for Chris, he's decided to move on, to process his feelings, to get a little bit of counseling so he can put this in the past and not have it overshadowing him. Even though it's going to be something that people will never forget. But the way things move on this internet, next week is going to be something else. So thank you for watching, everybody.